Hello there, my name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone that doesn't drink alcohol. I am a father, a husband, a leader, a lover, and a master coach. And I'm here to give you the lowdown on a self-led life. Why am I giving you the lowdown on a self-led life? Well, this is what Strive is all about. Strive is about helping people to live a self-led life free of alcohol. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, I want to start by telling you that 13 years ago, something like that, I became someone that doesn't drink alcohol. It was like I had been released from the Matrix. All of a sudden, I understood the truth about alcohol, and it made me question everything in life. And because I questioned everything in life, I started to realize that I was on a path of least resistance. And it was basically my energy was going where the world wanted me to go. My energy was going where culture wanted to go. My energy was going where society wanted it to go, where my parents wanted it to go, where my friends wanted it to go, where my bosses wanted it to go. And I was like, hang on a minute, I'm not happy with that because I'm not the type of person who likes to be controlled. I don't know about you, right? So I'm like, I'm not happy about this. So I stopped drinking alcohol. Everything started to change. I quit my job. My relationship ended. I left my environment. I left my friends. I traveled around the world. I created a new business and on and on and on. All these different changes. And guess what happened? I thought I knew it all. I thought that I was a smart ass. I created Strive. I created the 1000 Days Sober podcast. And I was on my trumpet telling everybody and sundry, stop drinking alcohol because there is an amazing life beyond that, right? And that is true, partially. And the wake-up call for me was when I fell in love again, got married, and 8 years later, so 8 years after getting married, when neither of us drink alcohol, my wife and I sat down and discussed divorce. Now, when you discuss divorce, and there's no alcohol in the mix, and you think you're a pretty kind of like cool dude who's kind of got his shit together, you've got to start questioning yourself. So this is when I joined the Elementum Coaching Institute and worked under the tutelage of people like Preston Smiles, Stefanos Sifanos, Alexi Panos, and Christine Hasler. And there's a beautiful humility in receiving hundreds and hundreds of hours of coaching, right? Of being coached, of going to those deep, dark places. And I call it the Jon Snow method, right? Of life. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Or in this case, you know nothing, Lee Davy, right? I suddenly realized that even though I had stopped drinking alcohol like 13 years before, I really was still a boy in a man's body. I was still showing up to the world and experiencing a world from the outside in. And what was showing up was not what I call myself. It was my ego, or more accurately, my fractured ego. Okay, parts of my psyche, parts of my personality that were trapped in trauma in childhood, who took control of my life. So the reason that me and my wife were sitting down to talk about divorce was from her perspective. She couldn't relate to me. She couldn't connect to me. She couldn't feel safe and secure with me because I wasn't showing up as a man. I wasn't showing up in my full power. I wasn't showing up as myself. Now, in the Strive method, the metaphor that we use to describe living a self-led life is a simple line. And we got this from the Conscious Leadership Group, right? There's a simple line like this. And if you are living above the line or operating above the line, then you're coming from a place of curiosity, open-mindedness, sobriety, laughter, joy, pure, pristine presence, okay? This is what I call living a self-led life. This is when your soul, when the very essence of your nature, the blueprint of what makes you human is elevated in its higher power. When you're in your state of flow, right? This is your self. And when you're in self, beautiful things happen. You radiate this beautiful energy. People are attracted to you and you are not codependent. You're not triggered by anything because you've got your shit together, right? When you're operating below the line and you've got closed-mindedness, you're coming from a place of judgment, you're coming from a place of codependency, you're in victim consciousness, you want to blame people, you want to be a victim, right? You want to fix people's problems, you want to drink or choose other addictions to help you with your compensating strategies. You're now below the line. And when you're below the line, your parts led, your ego is leading the way, okay? So what I realized was when I was in a fight with Liza, for example, or Liza would be in the house and she would do something that would trigger me, she would be triggering a part of my inner child, which would immediately come up to the surface and take control. And now I'm operating below the line in victim consciousness. And very often I would be making Liza a villain, and I would either try to be a victim or I would try to be a hero, which would cause anarchy in our relationship, particularly around trust and security, okay? So let me give you an example of how this plays out in real life that happened just recently with me and Liza. So me and Liza are in a really difficult situation at the moment. I'm in the UK alone, away from her and Zia. I haven't seen her for 2 months because of a visa issue, right? And it's really challenging. We don't really know where we're going to be in the future and all that kind of thing. So Liza came on the phone with me the other day and she's really upset about something, and she starts to lose her temper and to get angry. And while she loses her temper and gets angry, immediately it triggers my inner child and I come below the line. I go below the line, a part of me, which is my inner child, takes control of my body and it reacts to Liza's anger from a place of victim consciousness, right? I start to defend myself. I start to justify my action. A little bit of gaslighting leaks out, right? And all of a sudden, I'm trying to pass my shame onto her for shouting at me in a conversation, right? Then in the wake of that conversation, I then, through a period of meditation and journaling, realize, hey, Lee, you didn't deal with that from a place of self right then. I get back on the phone to Liza, and here is my commitment to Liza, right? Even though Liza said to me, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be shouting at you, and I'm working on that, my response was no, I want to build a container within our relationship where I can show up in my full, healthy masculine, myself. And when you are raging and shame is overtaken and you are parts led, when your inner child's activated and you need to shout, and the fact that you're shouting at me shows that you love me so much that you trust to show me the worst of you, in that moment, I need to generate myself and get myself into self-led energy so I can hold space for you and I can be present for you and allow you to have this trusting, secure container where you can rage, you can have a mouthful, you can have a good go, and you know I'm not going to defend, you know I'm not going to judge, you know I'm not going to shame, you know I'm not going to threaten to leave the relationship. You feel comfortable and confident to be able to do that, because we all need times when we're going to slip into that parts energy. We are all going to be triggered. It's part of the human condition. So how beautiful would it be in a relationship if the person that you really are trusting to see the worst side of you is not triggered when you're showing the worst side of you, right? No, this is massive. Like, you could stop drinking alcohol and still be completely 100% underneath the line all the time in victim consciousness. I was for vast majority of my life. So the goal at Strive is not to be someone that doesn't drink alcohol. The goal at Strive is to be someone that doesn't drink alcohol and live a self-led life. Does that make sense? Okay? If you've got any questions whatsoever on what I'm talking about, you want me to provide some more context or some more examples or talk about this a little bit more or answer any questions you have, then leave them below. Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. This is incredibly important. If we could all come from a place of self, if we could all raise awareness of when we're operating above the line in a state of self or whether we're operating below the line in our parts, and discern the difference and have the tools and the ability and the skills to actually go from below the line to above the line, there'd be so much peace in the world. There'd be so much love in the world, and we'd have many, many more trusting, secure relationship containers, which means we don't need to drink freaking alcohol, right? Okay, so that's what we're all about. Strive, a life after alcohol is a self-led life. If you want to join us, you want to learn more about this, then get hold of me and I'll give you some more instructions, all right? Much love, everybody.